Ayo back at it again, doing me peace and love reflections. We last Sowful Ministries MasterClass of this season. And the reason I say it's this season because we have a lot of different ways I want to teach y'all about sewing. And to be honest, 8 days is not going to teach you everything I know about sewing. However, it did build a foundation for those who are using sewing to build upon their products, brands, services, projects, or whatever it is that they have going on. Y'all, today I'm going to just burn through this video. And it's because my son did not go to sleep, and that's why we're a little late today, but that's okay. You can still catch the replay today. I hope that all of y'all who joined last time's class, which was class number 7, did enjoy the video of what I went through personally to get y'all that video, because it was a lot to go on. However, today we will not be doing a view, but y'all can see it is a beautiful sunny day. You might see some monkeys run across the screen because they are out and about, but we on a laptop, we can't really even see. But that's okay, y'all. Let me get my phone so I can stay plugged in. All right, so let us make sure first that we are live. Says that we are live. Yes. All right, so we are live. Sister Cultivator may or may not join us today, but she said she would be. But we just gonna take off because we don't know when we gonna get the time or the energy to do what we gotta do today. We just gotta sew on and sew forward. Peace be upon Sister Cultivator. If she does join, she is the vice president and the cultivator of our sewers tools and everything that we are sewing into everybody when it comes to projects or when it comes to workbooks, tasks, things that you can do, especially the daily word. The daily word is where you're going to get all of the information that you need to sew for the day to start your sewing day off right. Y'all plug into the daily word. Today's class, I gotta get myself together. Get yourself together, JoJo. Why? Because I've been saying and we know that we've been working on articulation in the Sowful Ministries group chat on the WhatsApp. When you sign up for Sowful Ministries, you signing up for a WhatsApp, you signing to get into a community, you signing up to build in a space that you are saying I'm accountable of my own growth. You do not come to the Sowful Ministries thinking that I'm gonna be in control of your sewing or somebody else in the group gonna be in control of your sewing. You are in that group because you want to increase and deepen the roots of your soul. That means your finances, your life, your son. Your finances, your life, your ability to grow in different areas. Y'all, I was just digging in the dirt. So if you say, JoJo, your nails dirty, baby, I was doing a sew. You see this right here? This was a sew. The person that I live with, right? I say the person that I live with, y'all. The person that house I am living in, because I am house sitting. The person that I'm house sitting with let me sit here, and I was sitting here and I was like, I'm tired of mopping and sweeping. I'm tired of doing something that is continuously happening, y'all. It's just happening every 15 minutes. Every time I walked outside, came back in, I was mopping and sweeping because I was tracking red clay through her house, and I was like, man, this gotta stop. So I decided, when I heard a problem in my heart, I could complain and get no solution, or I could sew and get a solution. So what I did do was I texted and I said, girl, I can make you some steps. And as you can see, I made her the steps. I'm not charging her nothing. It was a sewing opportunity because why? I had a problem. 2, I had a solution. 1, I had to find out who was going to allow me to get rid of my problem. And then I went in and I did that. That is what Sowful Ministries is about. It's about finding your problem, getting your solution, finding out what you need to do, not what you got to go assign somebody else to do, not what you found some solution and it's actually gonna make more work for somebody else. A lot of y'all do that a lot of times. Y'all literally will see somebody else and you would be like, hey, I sold this to you, but it causes them more work in their life. That is not a sold. That is not a solution. That was you seeing something that you wanted to do and halfway sold it. If you really wanted them to do it, if you really wanted them to do it and really wanted them to have it and you really wanted it to be a gift, you really want me to take that from you, then you wouldn't have made it in a way that they had to do more work, right? When I sow into people, I'll sow them a plant, for example. I'll sow them a sapling about this tall. This means it's gonna grow. This means it's seen the ants, and this means it know about the heat. This means that it's already gotten roots, and then I'm gonna give it to them. I'm not gonna give it to them when it's like this, when it's susceptible to die, when it need a lot of water and care, when it need a lot of paying attention. I done already paid attention to it here. So when I sow it, the person I'm sowing to don't got that kind of work. They can just plant and go. She ain't gotta do nothing but walk and go. She don't gotta redig. She don't gotta do nothing. That was a sow, and I needed to do that for myself. And I know that she needs to do it as well because she has a baby as well. And so when she come back, she don't got time. Her baby just learned to stand. My baby stood a month or two ago. And ever since then, I've been like, man, I don't have time to do much. I got to just continue to move, move, move. So I know the way that she living up in this mountain, she didn't have enough time to be doing that. Why? Because I've already went through that path. I see it. I'm like, nah, man, you ain't gonna have that time. Let me sow into you. So that's what I did. Anyway, today's class is basically a summarization of what you should have learned when you was well in the previous courses. For those who just joined us, whatever you missed, today we're gonna catch up. The first thing you should be seeing this is Sowful Ministries, seedlings. To be honest, y'all just should be. Bubba, I know. All right. I'm making sure y'all can see. Here we go. In the Sowful Ministry work, when you join Sowful Ministries, you should have got the link to attain your seed operating suite. The seed operating suite is going to come with all the things that you need to know in order for you to build. So what have you gotten up until this point? You have gotten hold on. Hold on, y'all. Because I did do that. And I did as last class here. Brother
Peace. I'm glad that I made it.
today, and he does not care, Lord.
Hey, Ron.
All right. Sister Cultivator, we did talk about before we get into this. We did talk about how you are the creator of our Solar's Toolbox and making sure that we have all of our worksheets, all of our daily words, all of our words in general together so that we know how to articulate ourselves when we talk about soulful things, testimonies, and ministry work that we're doing in our everyday life. But while I get this together, would you mind telling them about that?
Yes, indeed. Well, the Sower's Toolbox, if you have not been in tune with myself, haven't seen it or heard about it before, or you've heard about it, but you don't really know what it is about, Basically, it is where we get all of our tools, right? As you know, as we are sowers and cultivators, we need tools to be able to plant these seeds, to grow them, to be able to get them to move to the harvest that we're trying to retrieve or we're trying to reap. And so I created the Sower's Toolbox so that we will have those tools, whether they be business tools or they be physical tools that we need, they be natural tools, literary tools. And so Sower's Toolbox is a toolbox that has a combination of the different tools that we have used. Of course, we have the Sowers Market, which includes all of my products, JoJo's products. Also, Sister Karen's book is now listed on there. So it's a quick access for all of the things that the three of us mainly, and anyone else that comes into our circle, or if we have recommendations about things that we found from people, um, then they're going to be there as well. All classes and courses are listed there, so you can find those there. And like she said, things that I got going on. A lot of people read the Daily Word and they really liked it. And the Daily Word basically was talking about different aspects of wellness and different words that we really need to understand, right? I think that we have gotten so accustomed to just understanding what we want to say that and having this vocabulary that is very limited. And so since our vocabulary has been very limited, a lot of times we don't really have the right word to say, or we're using a word because we have an idea why the word has so much more depth to it, right? And so I talk about words etymology, and also I write the daily word to help to increase our vocabulary, increase our communication, because communication is a tool as well. And so this is what the Source Toolbox is. It's really just all of these amazing things that I have found, that we have found, and that we are doing, that we have produced, and we have available for y'all to be able to purchase. Also, the Source Toolbox also has any opportunities that myself or anybody else has to offer, like my referral program. You can get access to JoJo's referral program as well for not only the Sowful Ministries, but there's also a link for her the previous referral that she had with the shoes, Soulful Souls. And so there's that, and then I have the referral setup service as well. So if you have a business or you have a product or something that you want to get more attention on, you can actually have your referral program set up for you, and then you can give it to people so that they can also make money, because when we make money together, of course we spend more time together, we do more together, and it's just an incentive for people to share your products and services. And so that's there as well. um, and then again, all of our communities, all the opportunities that we have, because myself, I'm an affiliate of other programs as well, and so there's also access to those programs there. And I think I covered pretty much what Source Toolbox is, and also it's a way to get in touch with me if you have questions about anything, how to find something, or if you're looking, you're saying, I need a resource, or I'm looking for a way, or I'm looking for a tool. You can also fill out a contact form, and you will be able to get in contact with me and say, this is the tool I need, or this is the resource I need. Can you help me? And I definitely will do that for you. You're muted. You're muted.
Muted too. Yeah, I am muted. But I want to start over and say thank you very much for dropping in and telling us about what the Sowers Toolbox is and more in depth, because a lot of people want to know, what's the Sowers Toolbox? What's the daily word? Is it different? It's not different. We just have so much to sow. And it just go on what I was just saying just then. Stop. What goes on with just then, like, um, when you sowing, it's not just about money. It's not about business. It's not about plants and trees. There's so many aspects to sowing. Because when you look up in the dictionary what the word sowing is, it is the action of planting a seed. But because we know that there's so many types of seeds in the world, physical, mental, spiritual, intellectual, financial, excuse me, you never know which seed you plant. Some of us got physical seeds over here just planting themselves away with their own seeds. But anyway, some Rob, your seed and go sit over there. Go sit over there. Mm-hmm. All right, so I don't want to just have this season just talking about business. I want to go into the next season talking about something else. I want to go into the next season after that talking about something else. We did talk about business, y'all, products, brands, and services. If you want to find out what you can sow for products, brands, and services for yourself, you gotta go rewatch all the shows. Join the class. We still talking about it, but we're not gonna sit here and just regurgitate information over and over again, because the same process is the only process we're using right now. And if you want to see the different processes that we're going through, go and join the Sowful Ministries MasterClass. And that is what we're about to show you. How do you join the Sowful Ministries Masterclass, and what should you have gotten out of this? By now, you should all know where you go. You're going to go to meexchange.info. It's going to bring you to the home screen, where you're going to find out what it means to be me in the Meta Environmental Exchange. If you're doing it from your mobile, you might see some Google pop-ups. Y'all, we trying to sow and grow financially. Don't judge us. Don't judge us. You're going to see some ads pop up. We trying to get paid. We trying to continue this nomadic work. So you're gonna see all that. But what you're gonna do, you're gonna first go over here to the enroll in our Sowful Ministry work. Go on, click that. It even show you this, the seed operation suite. But don't pay attention to this right now, because this is mine. I'm gonna erase this because we done with this season. So you're gonna go and y'all have already enrolled. And when you enroll, you're gonna be able to see how you can enroll. So when you're talking to other people who want to join the Sowful Ministries Masterclass, you'll say this is what you do. This is the free access. This is the seed operation suite. Only free for those who have the paid course. The paid ministry access is $97. So you paying for the master classes here. And if you want to join the referral program, as Sister Cultivator just stated, this is where you start. So you can literally go and say, I want one free. You hit add. Then you say, I also want to join the Reaping Circle. You're going to hit add. And then you say, I want to stay free. I do want the information. You're going to click add. See how that goes? And you're going to add that to your chart, your cart. Sorry, y'all. And that's it. Or you could just not click all that and just go and click the $97. And then you'll be able to join the referral program. You'll be able to join the free access, and you'll be able to get the operation system at the $97. You say, oh, okay, thank you, JoJo. Thank you for that information. And that's where you enroll. Watch a video, find out what's inside of the packages. What is the seed operation suite? What is it as a whole inside? What is the community we have, which is the Reaping community? And get your access to your operation suite. Watch this. When you get your access to the operation suite, that means you didn't pay for it. All right. And so on and so forth. It takes you this place. Enroll in the Sowful Ministries Reaping Circle. Be a part of our Roblox. This is what we're doing. All right. If you want our newsletter, the Daily Word, you go on and click this and submit, and then you'll be able to do that. I'll put this over here so I could see this. When you open your Sowful ministry seed operation system, your suite, sorry, you're gonna get access to this page. All right. When it say gain access, you that means you've already paid for it. I've given it to you. I only unlocked this so that I could show it to y'all today. Easier access. You'll be able to get into this Dropbox file. If you don't have Dropbox, it's simple. Sign in with an email. But this is where you're gonna go. The Seed Operating Suite. You're gonna get the 7-day articulation challenge, the 7-day seed sharing challenge, the 7-day sowing challenge. You're gonna get all of our ebooks. You're gonna get all of our business plans. You're gonna get all of our communities. You're gonna get all of our seed circle packages. You're going to get all of our sweet videos. You're going to get all the videos that we use to promote. Why do we give you promotional videos? Because if you are in the reaping circle, that means you are here to promote the MasterClass. You are here to promote the Sowful Ministries. You're going to need content. We talked about it earlier. Don't nobody want to do nothing, and they got to create. You hear me? We already give you what you need. You go into it, you say, this is our content. Join the Sowful Ministries Masterclass. Join the Reaping Circle. We already give you all the content that you need right here. Now, for those who are in inside of the pay circle, you have what we call the Seed Operation Suite Extended Edition. What does that mean? That means if you get free access, you get free access to this. You say, what is the point if I'm paying and the free people get it? The free people get the tools. You get what we did, but you don't get to talk about it. You don't get the deep and understanding. You don't get the details. You don't get to do it with us. You just get to know that we did it, and these were the results. But when you pay, you get a Seed Operation Suite Extended Edition. This gonna come with a lot of things, more than what the Seed Operation Suite itself gives you. Because as you can see, I just started 2 days ago. This one is the Seed Starting Garden Planner. It's in a zip file. Saving space, y'all. We got another Seed Starting Planner as well. These are 2 different types, but it depends on what you're trying to do. I'm constantly going to be adding to it, but it's only going to be open to people who are paid. It's not open to free people. That's why it's the extended edition. Now you say, JoJo, what else can the free people get? Oh, I'm glad you asked. Everybody has the opportunity now to get the Impact of the Seed textbook. The Impact of the Seed textbook, for those of you who wanted to know how to build your business, not what to do with your business, not who do you reach with your business. It's how the framework of building a sustainable business, product, ministry, nonprofit organization. What is the foundation and core to do it? You can even use this particular textbook if you've already created these things, because it's great for you to get a checklist of what you might have been missing, who you might not have reached, where you could have possibly gotten a grant, what a grant even look like. You able to use this textbook here, found on Amazon for $25. And you say, why? Why do I need this textbook? Because when you are inside of the Sowful Ministries Masterclass, we going through it, but you might have more details. You might move at a different pace. You might say, I want to work on this for a week, but the group is already going. We'll go, but inside the group, you are all open. When you have paid to go and say, hey, I was doing this in my business. Can you help me? I was doing this in the class. I remember reading something y'all posted. I want to do this, blah, blah, blah. You can talk when you pay. When you don't pay, you just got to go through the announcements, hit reply, give your reply to whatever the announcements is. We're not talking and chatting in there. When you pay, you can talk and chat. I'm being honest. We are running a beautiful ministry. The masterclass itself is beautiful. We like to keep it organized. We like to keep no confusion. We want to make sure that you get the information you came here to get. So this is what I want y'all to know. is that inside of the business setup textbook, you will receive access to the seed operation suite. Why? Because I want to make sure everybody gets access to the seed operation suite. So if you already have paid and then you say, I want the book, you're going to get the book and you're going to get access to the seed operation suite. Only if you are in the paid group do you get the extended, oh wait, you'll get the extended edition. Because there's no way for me to put this in the book and then they haven't paid and then they get the extended edition. So that means you got to be in the group to get it. All right. Does that make sense to y'all? Leave in the chat if that doesn't make sense to y'all. Let me know. Peace be upon you, Sister Shenrika. I'm glad you are here. Say Something TV is here in the building. I wanted to give a shout out. And as you can also see, if you going on in any of our Sowful Ministry things, you'll start to see Kids Love Money. Sister Shenrika is also Say Something TV. She's also the creator of Kids Love Money. And we have been promoting. She is our top student right now when it comes to taking and implementing what the Sowful Ministries has to offer. So we were just talking about and showing y'all the new textbook for the Sowful Ministries Masterclass. This is not just any textbook. It goes into extreme detail of what you should have, what you could have, and what you might be missing. This here, you say, why is it $25? Because it, again, if you go to this screen here and it says you just want to buy the seed operation system and you don't want the free access class, you don't want the paid class, it's $25, right? If you gone on and buy the textbook for $25, it'll include that. So you've now saved $25. So not only do you get the suite, but you'll get the book and the worksheets and things that come inside the textbook for $25. If you already paid your $97, you still gotta pay the $25. I'm not gonna lie, because what you paying for the $97 is interactivity, deepening your roots. The textbook itself is by itself. The only way you saving money is if you haven't joined the class yet and you want the suite. So you get the suite, you get the book, you get the information. You get the free aspect of the class as well. But y'all, this is not, I won't call it a steal because it's not. This is a giveaway. It is a soulful harvest that you might think at the long run, it is the most amazing thing. But at the short run, you just like, everybody got a textbook. No, everybody do not have a textbook. They have workbooks, they have ebooks, but not everybody got a textbook. This is just one of the many textbooks out there that will be developed for this ministry class. Again, we are not just sowing seeds of business. We are trying to sow, we are sowing seeds of knowledge, understanding of how to sow seeds. So now that you have that understanding, you can just get it, all these links, all the access at the meexchange.info. You're going to click enroll in our Sowful Ministries Masterclass. Now that the date of release is here, because today was the date of release. Hey. Come on. I can't help you over there. One moment, y'all. I'm going to try. I got to get up.
All is well. We'll give you a moment. But yes, I'm excited about the workbook. Of course, I got access to it early because I am the VP of the First Natural Church of Business. And so I'm excited about it. Like she said, there's a lot of information in there. There is some room for you to really, write inside the book. I'm a person who writes inside my books if I own them. Of course, if I borrow them, I don't. But there's room in there for you to be able to write inside the book and actually use it as a reference for what you're building, right? And so there's a lot of information in there. You go through it as you would if you were actually setting up a business or you were setting up a ministry, you were setting up a project, right? It's just like you would go through these things. And so I'm excited for that to be released. And going back to what she was talking about with the seed operating system, there's so much value in there. Like she said, we ain't gonna use the word steal, but like I told her, like as we was going through the stuff, I'm like, oh my goodness, you got something else, and she continued to add to it and add to it and add to it because she wanted there to be a lot of information, enough information so that everyone who joined and actually worked through these processes, went through the challenges, read all of the marketing information, they would have all the components that they really needed to move forward. And so it's a lot of information in there. And again, like I said, when you pair that with Source Toolbox, then it just really opens up a space where you have everything you really need. And so I'm excited about that as well. I do want to talk about the challenges that we had because there was three of them. And the reason why I want to touch on those ones is because it was a challenge, just even keeping up with the challenges because they were like back to back to back. But what they did was they gave us space to really look at different topics and be able to do some reflecting on where we were in those particular spaces, like with articulation, right? Where we were and kind of practice together and see where everybody else was on that end. My favorite was the sewing challenge because it really is something that me and JoJo have always done. Literally, for as long as we've known each other, we have been in this sewing sharing cycle, right? We've been sharing each other's seeds, everything she does. If you see her on Facebook, Instagram, you see her stuff posted there, or TikTok. When you see her stuff posted, you'll always see me liking it, right? Me commenting, me sharing. And it's the same thing with her. Anything that she sees of mine, especially for those of y'all who are on Facebook. I'm not really on TikTok that much, but as soon as I do go on there, I go back and I like all her stuff and I comment and I repost. It's the same way. When you see my stuff, when she sees my stuff, you see that she is liking it, commenting, and sharing it on each of her different platforms. And we both got a lot of platforms, right? And so there's different audiences, and there's a lot of different types of people looking at those different things that we're doing. Like I said, we got a lot of seeds, and so that was a good one. Again, Shanrika, shout out to her. Not only is she the owner of Kids Love Money, and we've been sharing her game and some of the tools that she have to teach children financial literacy. She also sent me some seeds, and I'm excited because, like we said, we ain't gonna keep talking about business every single time. We ain't gonna keep talking about creating things, right? And doing things just for the business or doing things just for our nonprofits and ministry. I'm excited about it because this opens up a space where we can start to learn about some new things, right? And so that's one of the things that I know for myself that I'm going to be bringing to the table as we move forward into our next topics because for myself, I really think it's time that we start building on skills. Now, of course, I've had the toolbox tutelage for some years now. We've gone through different digital apps. We've talked about different topics around business and around professional wellness, right? So I'm really started with learning some things about tech. So I'm going to be going more into tech stuff. But aside from that, one of my main focuses, other than my publications and writing the daily word, is going to be sharing these seeds. And the thing I want to really push out there is the benefits of these seeds, right? And so what I'm going to be doing is going through the packages that she sent me. and talking about the different seeds and the benefits of each plant. So I'm excited about that. And again, that'll be another thing that we'll move into as we continue Soulful Ministries, because the work ain't done. We still got a lot of work to do. And life is a journey of work. So we're always going to be working, growing, sharing, and doing something. So that's what we're moving towards next.
Beautifully said. I couldn't have said it better myself. Sister Say Something TV. She said that we are sowing and growing every day,
Yep.
every single day. It is not a day
Indeed.
that I wake up and I'm not ready to sow. My God, did I wake up this morning and found a bunch of weeds in my sowing fields, and I was like, I got to stand back, got to regroup. And if it wasn't for Sister Cultivator, I wouldn't have been able to regroup and see where I needed to go. The weeds had covered my path a little bit, and they was trying to take me here, take me there, and I was like, no, today is Monday. This is
Hmm.
my Soulful Monday. I can't be doing too much thing. Can't be trying to trek outside. Woman want me to pay her bills. I'll pay it at 2 o'clock when I'm done with everything I gotta sow first. Can't just be stopping what I got going on just to do random stuff. No, no. Sewing moment for me is waking up with a sewing schedule and so on. Okay, I wanted to reach back in and tell y'all something that we should be looking forward to on the upcoming sewing ministry work. Peace be upon y'all, all who have still been listening and here with us. Y'all, we are going just like Sister Cultivator said. We doing other sewing activities. Sister Cultivator got her seeds. My next thing is teaching y'all a new skill set. And a lot of y'all be like, people teaching us skill sets. Talk about the monies. I ain't about to tell y'all about no monies in this new skill set. This new skill set is because the next venture I need to learn is creating free electricity. Okay. How do I do that? That is the skill set. We're going to learn the skills. We are going to literally open up the floor to learning new ways that we could actually help ourselves. A lot of y'all be just talking about it. A lot of y'all scrolling on TikTok, seeing people talking about we self-sustainable in our communities. We self-sustainable at our house. They not. They really still pulling from the government. They really still funding their solar panels with the government's help. I want to shift from that. I want to get it to the point where we actually can say, I'm doing this self sustainably for myself. And no, I'm not looking for 15 billion people to agree with me. I'm not trying to turn everybody to plastic fuel. I'm not trying to turn everybody to take air out of the air out of the atmosphere and turn it into water. I'm not trying to do all that. We here for the personal work for ourselves. Work for yourself first and then spread your seed somewhere else. This is the principle of a seed to a tree. You start with your seed, you work your way up, and then you bear the fruit for others. It's not the opposite way around. So guess what we need to do? We first need to make sure it works for ourselves. So what do we need to do? Gain knowledge. The knowledge is free out there. It is simply free, y'all. We're going to be using the free work of Home Depot. Thank you for them for giving us the coursework for contraction work. Because if we can work with contractors and they are learning it, why can't we learn it for ourselves and we do it for ourselves? So we're going to start learning how to generate, create, and build energy systems that's going to keep our house sustainable. Same with the fuel systems. Same with the water systems. We're going to learn these things. That's why I said earlier, y'all, this is just season one. We just wanted to knock out the business because we know that when people start learning new things, they automatically want to share with other people. And we not about sharing for no reason, no exchange. We not that's not what we here to do in the Soulful Ministries. If you gonna share something, make sure that you getting something back from it. So first thing we implemented was getting your foundational system, nonprofit, ministry, business, projects, brands, and services, getting that founded correctly first. And then from there, we're going to learn how to enhance that. And now we've already got the clientele. Now we got all the viewers. Now we got all the foundation. So when we start enhancing it, we can be like, y'all, look where we came from. Here's where we are now. Without doing this particular masterclass, it'd be like, if we didn't do it, it'd be like, I'm creating energy. And who are you and why do we care? You see what I'm saying? So we started the business and the foundations of that first, and now we're gonna go into what it looked like. What can you actually do to enhance that? Where can you grow from here? Um, What else is that? We got the textbook out there. We got the Operation Suite Extending Pack out there. Y'all gonna be able to get these things in the Soul Words Toolbox, because after I end this class, I'm going to take those buttons that leads y'all directly to certain things like the operating suite, because we're gonna do a new operating pack, y'all. So we can't just keep going backwards. You're gonna find all that in the Solar's Toolbox. So when you go to the Solar's Toolbox, you'll be able to scroll. But until then, how you get there is gonna be how you get there. Same button system is just gonna lead you to something else, and it's gonna lead you to the Solar's Toolbox. We got all the tweaks and the motions is going well, so that we can be combining our efforts together between me and Sister Cultivator Go to make it flow for you guys, so y'all all know what it is y'all are here to do, what it is you where to go, how to integrate it. Because if you are paying attention or paying us in attention, you can understand that I'm doing one thing and Sister Cultivator is doing another. But together we are one. When you build your network and your communities, you're going to have to understand how that works. What does that look like? Is it possible to take what I'm saying and build your community? This is the foundation of the community. Me and Sister Cultivator Go. This is the ground. This is where it starts. This was where the roots are going to bear. This is it. So from one person we made two. From two people we made Sister Shinrika with the kids love money, so that's three. The Trinity is there. All we can do is build from there. You feel me? How does that look like for your business? Again, when you go to the Me Exchange, you can see it. Nature goes into business, business goes into community, community goes into network, and networking goes into brands, and all so on and so forth. If you have any questions, make sure you put them in the YouTube comment section so that we can be able to hit those points, so that you can have the answers to whatever questions you are having. Like I said, we're not trying to spend too long. We're about to wrap it up. So if you got questions, make sure you put them down. Again, the textbook is out. Again, the Operation Suite is out. The extended edition is out. These are for the paid people. Y'all should already have gotten y'all's links and access to it, except for the textbook. The textbook is the only thing you have to pay outside of the $97. The reason I included the Operation Suite in the textbook is because, say your internet, your password, your login, whatever your electronic problems pop up, you'll still have access to the Operation Suite. That's what I want to make sure you have, because everything we're doing up until this point for this season is inside of that. Will there be another Operation Suite? Yes. Why? Because, like I said, we're going to be doing different sewing activities. Sorry about that. The sewing business is is one suite. You got another operation suite. You see, until we get y'all all together, until we can't sew and sew no more. Um, I think that's it though, because really I just want to congratulate y'all for making it to day 8. I just want to congratulate all those people who gave and sold, because without y'all we wouldn't be here. I want to say thank you first to the Most High God to give y'all the spirit of sowing, to be here at this present meeting so we can all eat, sleep, and grow. Without y'all being here, none of us could be here to eat, sleep, and grow. I don't know what I'd be doing without the Sowful Ministries, to be honest, because the Sowful Ministries has saved my life to the point where I didn't know where I was supposed to go. I didn't know how I was going to get there. And the Spirit said, so on and so forth. And I was like, how do I find these people? And and I realized the one thing in this world that everybody agrees with is they chase some type of religious aspect of life. And I said, I'm not a religious person. What do I do? And the Spirit says, do what you have. Principle number 1. And I came to the understanding that if people understand ministry work, then they can understand what I'm doing. They can understand how to sow, and that can increase what we have going on right now. And that's how we got the Soulful Ministries work. I gotta call it work because there's so many layers inside of it. The MasterClass, the congregation, the books, the text, the music. It's so many different things. And And that's gonna lead us to the end of the class. But before we go, I just wanted to show y'all what, let's see what it said, what we have accomplished. Where is it? I want to show y'all what we have accomplished before we end this, because this was all accomplished thanks to the Sowful Ministries Masterclass. There was no way that I could put this together without have gone through the ministries as we have done. Let me see. Sister Cultivator, is there anything you want to tell the people while I get them ready for what it is I want to show them?
Oh, yes. Let me mention again that the Daily Word is now a subscription on Substack. And I encourage y'all to check it out because, like I said, we are continuing to grow with the words that we use, using communication as a tool. And also, like I used to do all the time, I give y'all some cultivation steps that y'all can take to improve on the different things. Today's word is marketing. And so, in today's daily word, you will find that we're not just talking about what marketing is. We're talking about different components that affect marketing because marketing, again, is a tool, right? It's a tool of expression that lets people know who you are, what you're doing, what it's about, right? It builds the brand name, it builds the trust, it builds the credibility. And so today's word is marketing. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about networking. And networking is a whole different thing from marketing. But like I always say, marketing and networking are not separate from any business, any ministry, any product or anything that you're trying to do. And so again, make sure that y'all go to goldenprocreations.substack.com and check out the daily word. You'll also see that I have some other things planned from there. We're going to have a free newsletter coming soon. But I'm working on the next blog for Sower's Tidings. So as soon as I get done with that, we're going to have a new blog that I'm going to do there, or a new newsletter that I'm going to do there. And again, check out Sower's Toolbox.shop. I am putting stuff on there every day, finding different tools, especially now since we're in a different season, finding some more tools that y'all can enjoy for the summer. As we start to move into autumn, you'll get some tools that'll be best for you there. And then also the sign-ups for Earth Schoolers. Autumn session will be coming up soon. So if you want to get into any of those classes, again, remember, we talked about anatomy and physiology. We talked about financial literacy. We also had a seedlings journaling, which is really for the younger children. Um, and the adult journaling space will be open, but it's going to be over on Lantern to Soul. We'll talk about that later. But again, um, Earth Schooler session is going to be coming back in August. It will be for the adults and the children. And so make sure that y'all go to storageToolbox.shop, bookmark it, because like I said, I'm adding stuff all the time. And then of course, we're going to be moving the seed operating suit over there as well. So you want to have that bookmark and know where to go to get everything. And again, thank y'all all for joining us. I'm excited for the ones who came into the space and learned a little bit now. And also, this isn't over. Like I said before, just because this is the last day of this thing, all of the resources are still available for people who want to start back at day one. And of course, we're going to still be in the ministry. We'll still be in the WhatsApp. So again, thank y'all who are here now. Thank y'all for the people who will come in the future, and so on and so forth, like we always say.
Exactly. Yes, I couldn't have said it no better, y'all. This is what was the outcome of this Soulful Ministries masterclass. We are the first and only social media. It's where you're gonna find all the things you can do, see and talk, and people talking about and being part of what it means to be sewing. That's why we call it the social media. This wherever you type in sewing, you're gonna find one of us. I don't care how many platforms you choose. You're gonna type in sewing soulful, soulful ministries, sewing media, sewing seed. Every time you type in a word like that, you're gonna just see us pop up. Why? Because we made sure that our SEO gonna plug us in. Ain't nobody else out there talking about sewing in these levels. I don't care who you talking to. They can be like, I talk about sewing, my preachers. No, 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 no. They don't talk about sewing in the level that we sew on and so forth in. And I want y'all to take a gander at this if you can see it. At the top, we have all of our platforms, the Sowful Ministries. You see, the Sowful Ministries is what we under the first top of it is the social media network, but it's under neath the skies of the First Natural Church of Business. As you know that we are the First Natural Church of Business, and the business at hand is teaching and learning. And we each doing a part. I don't care what the business is that you're doing. You're teaching somebody and you're learning. You done bought some employees, you're teaching them, you're training them, now they learning. You done hired you some managers, you're teaching them and you're training them. I don't care how you look at it. The business at hand is teaching and learning. Teaching the children, teaching the animals, teaching yourself. So that's the business at hand. Before y'all start talking about business, money, see y'all always on that money thing. Get off that. When you release yourself of that financial hold of the root of finances and money, then you can see sowing in a better light. You can see where you are and where you can be when you don't have to think about it. Financial freedom means you don't think about money. So if you're still thinking about money, are you really financially free? Let's get up into the Sowful Ministries is next. You see the me exchanges under there. You get the forest restoration project. You get the seed operation suite. You get the Sowful media. You get the community and network. You say why Sowful media and Sowful social media? Because Sowful media is the media we show, videos, uh, ads, all that. That's Sowful media, not socio media. See what I'm saying? Anyway. Underneath at the root, how do we use all this? That's the impact of the world. That's our water, our planting the trees, our house building, our community efforts. All of the things that we do is underneath the root right here. What's building our root system is all the projects you might see in the Sowful Media Masterclass anyway. We literally give y'all all the tools to keep your foundation going so that you can hold the tree of your life. Hold the tree of not us, but your life. That's why it's called me, the meta environmental exchange. Because when you talk about it to people, you're going to have to say me. When you tell them, how did you get that? Go to me, go for me, come from me. Me is where it's at. This is the root system. When you in the Sowful media, the ministry, we're going to give y'all this so y'all can get an up close and personal view of it. When you finish the textbook, when you have completed your textbook, at the last page of the textbook, it is going to ask you to ask the question. In that question, you should be able to generate something, not this one particular, but something like it at the end of it. And when you look back at where you come from, some of y'all might not see the tree look like this. Y'all may just have one rectangle in the middle, and that's okay. Whatever you've answered at the end of the textbook, you should come up with something like this. That's why I wanted to end this with this. Because this is when I finished the textbook, when I finished the ministry work, when I finished the masterclass, this is what I came to. This is what I had. This is what I'm growing from. This is what now I can refer to when people say, do you have this, JoJo? I can look at it and say, yes. Do you know where to go? Yes. Do you know how to get to the next step? Look at the root, look at the cause. Yes. I can check off my yeses, and I want you all to check off y'all's yeses as well. At the end of the textbook, you'll be able to, and if you still can't, that's why the operation suite is inside the textbook for you to go back into it and say, what did I miss? Where can I go from here? And that's it, y'all. That's it. Congratulations for being part of the Sowful Ministry Masterclass. Thank you for being here. All praises to the Most High God. If there's not any questions, if there's nothing else, y'all, this is the day. That is the day. We looking wonderful. We looking here. We looking and we alive. Peace be upon Brother Ra. He doing his thing. He let us go through it today. Congratulations. He is asleep. Anyway,
Thank you.
he tried to give it to us, y'all, but he gave it to us. Anyway, but I'm appreciative of all y'all in this class. We're gonna end it now. Peace be upon y'all. So on and so forth. If you want to check out anything else, the link is scrolling down at the bottom. The link is also on the profile here on my YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. It's the same link. You'll be able to get to the same places no matter what. My name is JoJo, also known as the Master of Manifestation. It gives a real fuss depending on the platform you are on. I'm the founder of the First Natural Church of Business, the founder of the Forest Restoration Project, and the founder of the Meta Exchange and the 3andMe.info, which is a natural news network. Sounds like a lot, but again, y'all, it's part of the tree. Until next time, so on and so forth. Peace be upon y'all.
Peace.